In lesson 6, we're going to talk a little bit about themes. Themes are a very important part to WordPress, and it could get a little bit confusing to many people. Especially many people jump into what we refer to as page builders, also site builders. And then as they work with it, they come back and they're like, why do I need a theme? Where is this concept of a theme coming from? And the reason is because they've actually skipped a very important part, and that was to learn WordPress. If you've started in the past with WordPress as a blogging tool, you would fully understand the importance of themes. So we'll talk a little bit about that, and we'll come back to themes a number of times during this 101 and the 102 course. You'll fully understand what themes are and their purpose is, well, in no time. In this lesson 6, though, we are going to create a new page. And before we do that, we're going to clean up the default installation of WordPress, because WordPress is so unkind enough to install a few things for us which we don't want. And we just want to clean them out so we can have a very clean WordPress template to work with, so that when we are learning how to make our own sites, we don't get distracted by this other stuff that's lying around there. In lesson 5, we ended by working on the time zone and working on our language, so you should be around here. If you're not here, open your local drive, and first thing I want you to do is go to the front end. And the question I have here for you, where does this green background come from? Who decides my website should have a green background? Who decides I want to use this type of font? Who decides that this must be the size of this text? That is decided by the theme. The theme is a set of styling options, layout options applied to your site across your site. Go back into the backend to the WordPress admin area, and we access the themes under appearance, because appearance is all about how our site looks. So you can see there's appearance. Now, some of these, like the background and the theme editor, I've never used it. What you're going to use at the beginning is themes, and then these 3, you will learn how to use them as we progress through the course. Let's then look at themes, because everything starts at the beginning with a theme. And you will see under themes, we actually have 3 themes. WordPress, as an organization, designs themes that you can use to enhance how your site looks. This theme that we are currently using is called 2021, and you can click on it to see a little bit more about this theme. So it's going to show you the theme, who designed it by the WordPress team themselves, and then it's going to give you a little bit of a description over here, and also the version number 1.3. Now, you may be inclined to think, oh, the WordPress team made it. I'm definitely going to use this theme. You will find that actually nobody uses this theme. It's just an idea. I'm not entirely sure why they even make themes, because nobody uses the default WordPress themes. We all use other themes, but it's a great starting point for you to understand what the purpose of a theme is. Let's close and go to the next one, 2020, over here. And you should be able to see the same ones I have if you had used the local server, because the installation that happens through that will install these 3. If you are running it from a host, an online company that is hosting it for you, they often install themes by default by themselves. You don't have control over that. So you may have a different set of themes here, but don't let that discourage you. They're all more or less the same function. 2020, click on that. And you can see now we have a display here that is very different to the one that we saw for 2021. Close it and go here and click on Activate. As I activate it, you will see the theme now shuffles here to the left. It is now active, and our 2021 has moved over here. So what I've done is I've deactivated the 2021 theme, and I've applied the styling of 2020 theme. If I go to the front end, it still looks like 2021, and you should know why, because we haven't refreshed the page. the changes that we've made in the back end hasn't been updated on the front end. To do that, we go again here to refresh, or the shortcut key on your keyboard is Control R, Command R. Let's do that. And look at that. Things change pretty big. Now, this may look very different, but you have to always think in terms of those components that I've shown you earlier. If I grab my painter tool here, let's go through it. Oh, it's actually still selected from a previous one. Let's clear it out. One at the top. This is our header area. There you go. At the bottom, this is our footer area. And here, this is our page content area. Right. So even though the theme has changed, we have a different color scheme, we have different size fonts, we have different kinds of fonts. Essentially, my components and content remained the same. That's very important. This is the part that you need to remember. Go back to the backend and let's look at this theme, 2019. So this was the theme that the WordPress team made back in 2019. Activate this one. Go to the front end, refresh, and now you have, again, a complete different layout. But again, if we go and have a look at it, you will still see the same components. Here you have your header, here is your page contents, and down here is your footer. Those components remain the same. What changes is the styling, the layout. Styling usually refers to colors and typography, like the kind of font that you choose. How big is the font? Is the font bold? Is it in italics? And then layout is where does it appear on the page? Are these guys to the left? Are they to the right? Are they center aligned? Like this one for 2019, you can see they're all aligned to the left. And that's a short introduction into themes. Let's put it back to 2021, activate it, just go to the front and refresh. So we're back here to this one. So question 1 that I asked you was answered. Where does the color come from? Who chooses the fonts? Who chooses the size? That is done by the theme. Now question 2 is this page that we see here. Hello world, welcome to WordPress. This is your first post. Edit or delete it, then start writing. Where is this coming from? We'll talk a little bit quickly about this word, post. Let's go to the back end. And here in the navigation sidebar menu, you will see that there is an area called posts. In 101, we're not going to be working with posts. Posts relate to blogging. It's a special way for you to write your blog, and it will kind of dynamically update as you write this. Every time you post a new little bit of news in your blog, on your front where your blogs appear, it will update and it will show that new article. We refer to that as a post. Go ahead though and click on it, and you will see that here we have the post area, and it will show you all the posts that will appear here. All the blog articles that you will be writing, they will appear here. Currently, there is one called Hello World, and you make the connection, it's this one. What WordPress does is it creates one post for you by default. Hello World, this little phrase, Hello World, is so synonymous with WordPress. It comes from the very, very, very beginning. This is installed on each and every WordPress site the first time you install it. And of course, you're never going to use it. What we're going to do is we are going to delete it. Click here in the quick links. You see these little guys at the bottom? We refer to them just as quick links. And we select trash. And now it's going to throw it in the trash can. It hasn't deleted it in case you want to bring it back in the future. You feel like, oh, what did I just do? And for that, you will see the option up here. Mine says bin. If you are still on American English, it will say trash. And that's the difference between the small variants in languages that WordPress applies. Because I've put my site to South African English, it's going to say bin here. If it's still on American English, it's going to say trash. So you'll see a few little changes here, but the function exactly the same. I'll click on bin, and now you see Hello World is here within my trash can. All I need to do here is select this option, empty bin. Once you do that though, there's no turning back. So we click on empty bin and Hello World is gone. Question, I have removed it. So what is going to happen to this page? Because I have effectively deleted this post. So let's refresh and see what happens. Nothing here. Well, that's not a surprise, right? Nothing there. What I want you to think of though is that then what I'm seeing here is not a page. It's not like the About Us or Contact Us pages. What WordPress is showing me by default is actually just a post and not a page. And the reason WordPress does this is because of WordPress's history. WordPress didn't start out as a website, web page builder. It started out as a blogging tool. So the first time WordPress was on the market, the focus was always on blogging. It was always on the post. And that remains with WordPress until this day, that by default, they will first display your posts for the page that will load when people come visit your site. Few of us need that. Very few of us want that. Most of us want to display a home page. So that's what we want to do. We have no post at the moment. Let's go back. We're not going to be working with posts in 101. We want to create a home page. The page that when a visitor comes to my site, types in my website address, this is the page that's going to appear. However, click on pages, go ahead, and look at that. Again, WordPress has given us 2 pages that they install by default. Now, the privacy policy, this one over here is actually important. Many countries in the world require that you have a privacy policy and that you also have a link on your website to it. But because we're just practicing here on our own, we're not going to care about this one. We're going to get rid of this one. And then there's a sample page. No one cares about this page. WordPress shouldn't even include it, but it is there. We're going to get rid of this page also. Previously, when we deleted the post, we went here and we clicked on this quick link called trash. But when you have many that you want to apply the same action to, you can just click here, or you can select them all by clicking the checkbox here at the top. I've selected both these pages. And now we're going to apply a bulk action, which is going to delete all of them in one go. Select the drop down. Then we select move to bin or move to trash. After I've selected this action, I click on apply. Just like before, it didn't delete it permanently. It only put it in the bin. So if I click on bin, you will see they are still here. If I need to bring it back, I can click here on restore. But in our case, we're not going to cry much over these guys. In fact, not shed a tear at all. I'll simply go and click on empty bin. Now we have no pages. Let's then create our page, the page that we want to use for our home page. And I think ultimately what we want to do is create like a one-page website. You've gone to websites, right, where there's only one page. You key in the address and it's one long page and everything you need is there. This is very cool if you have a small little shop, like you just have a little boutique, little bistro or a coffee shop in your town. It's never going to catch the attention of millions of people, but you just want to have an online presence because today websites are like the yellow pages. So you kind of need to have that. So what we will do is we will just create a one-page website, which we will be working with, but we will call that page homepage. So you should see the queue is up here, add new, click on that, and this will allow us to bring in our first page that we have created by ourselves. What do we have here? Welcome to the block editor. And this is the editor, like you have in WordPress or PowerPoint, that will allow you to create the content within this page. You can read everything here, but because I'm going to show you everything, we are not going to get too worried about it. You can simply close it out here. There's a lot to take in here. And again, like I've mentioned to you earlier, there are some features in this setup that you're going to use a lot, some you will use sometimes, and a lot you will probably use never. All we want to do at this moment is to create a new page. So we want to give the page a name. Click here on Add Title and type in Home. This is going to be our home page. Now we're going to save this page. In WordPress, saving a page can be done as a draft, which means you just work with it in the back, nobody sees it, or you can save it so that other people can view it. When you do that, we say you publish it. You can see up here. Now, many people will first save it as a draft if they are already working on a website that is live. I usually just publish it. And because we're working on a local server, you can also just publish it. Go ahead and publish, which is save. And then it's going to say, hey, before you continue, are you ready to publish? Do you really want to put this thing out there in the wild? Again, because we are working on a local server, it's just a practice. No one's going to see this, so we really don't care. And you can select publish again. And now your page, look at it, home is now live. Live means that if you share your website address with people and they type in your website address, they will be able to find this page. And over here, they give you your page address. WordPress /101.local/home. Let's click here on copy link. And now I'm going to do something that all browsers can do. And that is to open an in private or incognito version of your browser. I'm running Microsoft Edge, and on Chrome the same. You see these little dots up here in the corner. Click on that, and somewhere up here you're going to see this function, New in Private Window. In Chrome, it is called New Incognito Window. When you select this, it's going to open a second version of your browser. I'll select it. But you will see this one looks black. It's supposed to give you that eerie feeling like, ooh, nobody can see what you're doing. This in private browser gives you an environment where there is no tracking of what you're doing. You're not logged in anywhere. It's as if this is a complete stranger that is using this site without a history. This is very great because if we go back to this one, we are logged into WordPress. What I want to do now is I want to test this page as if I am not logged in. But if I click here, copy link, I open a new tab, paste it, Control-Command-V, press enter. It's going to open the page, the home page, but you can see my WordPress toolbar still appears at the top, which means I'm still logged in. I just want to simulate a visitor's experience. And the best way to do that is to make sure you're not logged in. And that's where the in private and incognito browser is very, very useful. And you will see I'm going to do that a lot. Sometimes you need to test like a form or you need to test a button and you want to make sure that it works properly. We're going to use incognito in private browsers quite a lot. Let's close this one. Make sure you've copied the link. Open your in private browser the way I showed you. Let me close it again. Go to the three dots. New in private window, new incognito window. Click on that. Go to the address bar. You can right click and select paste or Control-V, Command-V. Once you've pasted it, press enter. And now you see I don't see my WordPress toolbar. Now I'm viewing this page as if I'm a total visitor. Now we've created our first page. We've called our page home. We've learned how to copy the link and publish it, and now we're done. We're not going to build out content yet because there's an interesting thing that has occurred here that's going to completely baffle you. To go back to the WordPress backend, you have to click here on the W in the top. So let's go and do that. Click on it, and it takes us back to our pages within Pages. Our front end. This tab is still open. Click on it, and remember last time we had removed the post. Now we have created a new page. So if I refresh this button, what do you expect to happen? And I really want you to take 5 seconds to think about it. Do you expect the home page that we had just created to show up now? click on refresh and see what happens. Yep, it has refreshed. Nothing has happened. So where is my homepage? Why is my homepage not showing on the front end? You can close this one, go back to the back end, click here on the site title, and it is still this one. It's not my homepage. Let's click and go back to the dashboard, and I'll just open that page again for us. So if this is the home, according to WordPress, where is my home page? And I'm going to stress that so you can clearly understand what is going on here. WordPress, and now you have to rewind when we were talking about posts, originally was a post blogging platform. As such, the default installation of WordPress says, I want my posts to be the first page to appear when people come to my site. That first page, I want it to be posts. You and I have created now a homepage, but WordPress doesn't know you changed your mind. In fact, you need to go and tell WordPress, hey, we actually want that new page I've created. This page over here, go to pages. You see there's this page. I called it home. This page is the one that I want you to make the page that will appear here when people come to my site. You only need to do this at the beginning, but because you're not going to do this all the time when building out websites, you're going to forget about it a few times. Now, how do I do this? This will be a settings function. In the navigation sidebar, go to settings, and we're going to choose this option called reading. Now, this is not like reading a book. This is how WordPress is going to read your pages when visitors come to it. I'm going to simplify it into that context. It's not really what it does, but it's going to help you remember which is the page that I should read to visitors when they first come to my site. Click on reading, and it starts here at the top with your home page displays. Now, this home page is the page that will display when people type in your website address. So let's go back, and currently it is set to your latest posts because that is the default behavior of WordPress. It loves posts so much. It wants to do blogging at all costs. But most of us nowadays, we just want to display the page that we are going to create. Now, that page is called a static page, and we'll talk about this terminology in the future. You don't have to worry about what it means at this moment. All you need to know is that we need to assign this page. Click here, and then for the home page, the page we want to display, select from the drop-down, is the only page we have, and this one we called home. Select it, and then remember to save changes. Now, go to pages, home, and you will see next to home, it says front page. Now, this designation, front page, has been given to this page. So this page, home, will now be the first page that people will see when they come to our website. Let's go over here, refresh, and you will see things have changed. No content has removed. Why? Because the home page is now being displayed here. For an outro to this lesson 6, let's go have a look at the themes again. Go back. You remember where themes are? Appearance, themes. Go to 2020, activate it. Go to the front, refresh. And now you can see that not only has it drawn in the new theme, it also displays the page title. It clearly tells us that page that we called home, this is now the page that will display when people visit our site. Let's go back. Let's activate 2019. Activate. Go to the front. Refresh. Looks different again. And again, you see this is the home page. Page title. Let's go back and activate 2021 again. Refresh. And you see this theme decides not to display the page title. So though this is the home page from our home page that we've created, the title doesn't display in the 2021 theme. Let's look at what we're going to be doing in lesson 7. With the front end open, you will see that we have this option here to click Edit. You will also see that we have the Edit option here in the WordPress toolbar. These two will give us exactly the same action. And that will take us back into the page of home so we can edit the page. Click on edit. And here we are in that same environment in which we had created the page. Next, we're going to bring in content. We're actually going to write something on our page, bring in an image, and all of that in the upcoming lesson.